It's hard to believe I've been in quarantine for over a year. No, I don't have a strong mental game, so quarantine broke me pretty much right away. About a week into quarantine, I found myself walking in the rooms and forgetting what I went in there for. I did this a lot. A lot. They say the first year of quarantine's the hardest, so I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for this next one. My fiance was really creeped out by my room walking, and she thought it might be stress. So she suggested that I try to do some yoga, which I did. The day terrors started pretty much immediately. No. I ended up giving my dog PTSD, so I had to stop meditating. And then one day I was scrolling on Instagram and started feeling bad that I wasn't buying into anybody's pyramid schemes with their self-care products, so I decided to try some self-care of my own. The massager didn't work. It turns out that the amount of stress I had in my face overheated the massager, and that voided the manufacturer's warranty. So I went back to Instagram, and I noticed that a lot of my friends were on there and going on vacations as if the pandemic wasn't really happening. So then I got to wondering, is it really happening at all? So I went on vacation. It was actually going pretty well until I remembered I was in my own living room. After my vacation fell apart because I couldn't lie to myself convincingly enough, I decided to give hobbies a try. So, obviously philosophy was the first one I tried.
If pigeons are sky rats, does that make rats ground pigeons? If restaurants are buildings and all buildings are outside, does that make all dining outdoor dining? People destroy birdhouses to make more birdhouses.
I didn't like my thoughts.
If a sheet of wood is called plywood and you eat with your mouth, why isn't it called Plymouth Rock? Is Apple's car gonna have windows?
Couldn't imagine anybody else wanting to listen to them. And then one day, I was flipping channels on the television as fast as I possibly could and trying to figure out if that was something that could make me famous. And I accidentally stopped on the horse racing channel, and I thought, that's it. I'm gonna be a horse race announcer.
And they're off. First out of the gate is Whiskey Business, followed by Knight Rider and Tax Cuts for the Rich in third place. Bringing up the rear is Henry VIII, just behind BoJack Horseman, and today's crowd favorite, Medicare for All.
It got political pretty much right out of the gate, and I forgot that we're not supposed to do that on the internet or otherwise.
Coming down the stretch, the tension is high as the top three horses are quite literally neck and neck.
Those succulents didn't really make the best horses.
And first across the line is Tax Cuts for the Rich, surprising nobody, followed by Henry VIII and Whiskey Business to round out the top three. Despite being the crowd favorite today, Medicare for All comes dead last with a bleak future outlook and disappointing anyone that just wants health care.
And that pretty much brings us to now. That's what I've been doing for the last year and some change of this pandemic. And I don't want to call it a resounding success on a personal and professional level, but it definitely is that. You know what I mean? Which makes me really hopeful because it puts me in a great position for the next year of this pandemic, the next year after that of this pandemic, future pandemics. I think I'm really going to shine here. Anyway, I guess before I leave, I just wanted to say thank you for working with me every single week. I really appreciate it, and I don't think that I would have been able to be the person that I am today without you, and I really mean that. So I'm gonna leave before I start crying. See you next week. You've done some really good work. I'll see you next week. Mike, you little rascal, you did it again. You fixed another one. There's nothing here.